I mean, the good part of the Ian interview is like, for some reason it is impossible seemingly for them to admit the bloody obvious that covenants are not working out.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I don't even care about whatever internal numbers they are. They have. We have the public numbers from the Armory. If their intent is for covenants to be a meaningful choice, but 90 whatever % of people go in one direction, like you've failed. You've just failed by the numbers.
See,
and there is no amount of pretending that you've succeeded in your public communications that will sell people when they all know through publicly available data that you failed. Where they know that they might be interested in that covenant, they might want to try that ability, but they can't. It's like, sorry guys, you just failed. And you failed even though the community told you since that BlizzCon that you were going to, that this was an obvious problem in the horizon. But they blindly walk into it. They cannot keep doing this. It's baffling. It's completely baffling.
They clearly need a very, very, very big shift in focus internally. But as to whether that'll actually come or not before it's too late, I don't know. Too late for a variety of things. I'm not trying to scream at the death song of World of Warcraft is incoming or anything like that. It's like if you're looking at a trend, you just imagine it going forward. And the thing is, even if that is slightly downwards, without good reason to believe it will come back up, it's just like, it's going to go down. So if that comes from a deeper root, you can kind of see that's why that's happening. And I guess Covenants is a really good one to thing because community backlash was very, very strong. It was an idea that seemed really good on paper and could have been good, still could be good, but why not throw the idea out and do something massively, massively different or massively better? Because but they won't, because Covenants worked out. But
that's the official line, yes.
But that doesn't mean Covenants have been great. That means Shadowlands peak numbers are really high. We have no idea if that was for Covenants or not. We have no qualitative data on that. We just know that we did this, and as a small part of this game, we did this little thing. And because it was heavily marketing, that must be the reason our peak was. Maybe Covenants are the reason Shadowlands was the fastest selling PC game of all time for a week until Cyberpunk destroyed it. Maybe that's what they're looking at internally and going,
that's probably better than Cyberpunk in fairness.
Well, that's for sure. But yeah, so they're looking at that, they're seeing those numbers, that's it. But why? But that doesn't actually hold true. It doesn't hold true to being a success because the Covenants, they haven't pissed people off that much.
Yeah, it's like, grats, your MMORPG sold more than usual during a global pandemic when the entire video game industry is outperformed.
Yeah.
Wow, well done.
Like, that's what the translation of Covenants worked out to me is they didn't cause a massive backlash and riot that also resulted in our numbers going down. But it's all just they're being justified. They've been justified because of the good numbers they get at the start of an expansion, which basically means they're looking at they seem not to understand why their numbers are so high, and it's because of hope for the game and hope for the experience of it and fond memories of it, and they just never really as long as they seem to believe that and don't feel the impending guillotine, then
they need to, because they have been taking shit for granted for such a long time.
Yeah, that's
such a long time. And we've told them ahead of time, trying to help them in beta tests.
Yep.
It's like you look at the new Torghast changes, and it's like, I'm disappointed that they came up with some of those things because it's not the execution, it's the idea, and the idea is shit. And you look at like the feedback to that in the official forums, and they're beta testing the forums. Every post says, no, we don't want this, this is bad. We're like, okay. But they already knew that because people already told them that a year ago with Torments when that first happened. And it's like, why have you not learned? What do you only think in terms of symptoms? instead of principles and fundamentals. Like, what is going on? And that is the baffling thing about how this is done, and it's just so depressing. I know I can still enjoy raids and dungeons and all that stuff because that is what they do well.
Yep.
I'd like to do the rest of the game. You know, and I'm very sad that I have to say this, but I'm left just thinking, you know what, Blizzard, stay in your lane. Yep. Stop being ambitious. Don't try to do Torghast. Don't try to do Islands. Don't try to do Warfronts. You guys don't know. You guys don't have the capability to do that content well. What you do know how to do well is raids and dungeons, some PvP stuff. So you know what? Stick to the basics. Stick to the bread and butter of the Warcraft experience. Focus on that and give us more content. Because clearly whenever they try to do these new things inspired by, you know, other games and stuff, it doesn't work out well. I'm not exactly sure what I'm thinking of as like the kind of principle, but it's something. There's some very, very well written quote that I read recently, or well spoken quote about the goal isn't to add things, the goal is to remove as much as humanly possible. And that's how something becomes good. Is when you pare back everything and it's just it's got the one thing that's really, really good. Yeah, do your thing, do it well.
Yeah. So instead of raids and dungeons being what they do to keep going while they try all this other mad shit, what they really need to do, and this is, you see LFR, out the fuck, get it gone, completely
that's rid of it. Dramatic.
Get rid of LFR.
Oh dear.
Take your like, keep your queues, whatever. Let people queue for normal. Whoa. Let people queue for heroic.
Madman, you absolute madman.
So I'm going somewhere with this. Remove LFR. Let people queue for normal. Let people queue for heroic. But take the goddamn time out to teach players how to play.
Okay.
And it's not a matter, like, I don't think it's ever a matter of people literally not being able to do normal raids. It's they're not being given the actual like runway. It honestly reminds me of the silly but correct quote of, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, like, what is that about? That's what they're basically...
Fish don't climb trees?
Yeah, that's what they're basically doing. They're basically going with... They don't let people engage with their game correctly or push them towards it in any capacity. They just say, yeah, if people do LFR, they'll do LFR. If people want to do normal heroic, they'll do it. They'll learn everything themselves. But why not actually push players towards it? Teach them what they need to. Because it's like I say about the actual game, the game's gameplay. I really like it. I'm really looking forward to Tazavesh. I will have a couple of characters ready for Tazavesh. I'll have likely Jestrolock, Frost Mage, and the Holy Paladin.
Yeah.
I will want to take all of them through Tazavesh. I will want to take all of them through like raid in some capacity or the other. But like, let other people have that experience. Teach people how to play. Give them this entire runway to go and have a good time. Teach them how to play the game, and then say, okay, now you're prepared for it. Would you like to have a try? And then people queue in for normal. People queue in for like Tazavesh and maybe open stuff like that. Open things up. Let people play, and just get Torghast out. Get rid of it. Get rid of your Warfront idea, your Island idea. Get rid of your Covenants idea. Stop spending any effort on any of that, and make it just, here's the game. The game is this. The game is your raids. It is your dungeons. Just play them. Play them. Here.
But I guess that would really mean more of those things.
Yeah.
Making them better, putting more of an effort into them, and maybe that's a world where your various forms of content, you can do them at a higher level of difficulty, or stuff like that. Maybe that's a world where there is a mage tower because they know that's an encounter-based thing they can do well.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a world where they're just more able to deploy their resources in a way where players will enjoy them.
Yes, exactly. Do what they do best and set all the players they have up to actually enjoy that. And once they can do that, Then they can take a step back. Then they can go and do, okay, right, we've got this sorted. We know what our place here in the game is. Now we can extend this elsewhere. Because I don't see them ever going back to the realm of classic where there's 1,100,000 things to do in the world and they're all insane and barely thrown together, but people enjoy the experience. Modern World of Warcraft has to do what Modern World of Warcraft does.
It does.
Which I think means actually go for all of that stuff and put the effort they need to there. And it's like the Silver Proving Ground thing. They didn't belabor it. They didn't say, no, guys, no. Try it. People went, no, we can't do this. We struggle. And they didn't go, oh yeah, well, here's the tutorial. Here's the teaching. Here's the skills we need. Because they're simple. They're like, I mean, I guess
I get you.
There are people who might genuinely have trouble playing on those things. In which case, sure,
you can't design the entire game for them.
Yeah, you can't.
It's like if you design Halo for people who can only do a Halo campaign in easy mode, Halo will be shit. No one will have fun in it.
Yeah.
So why in World of Warcraft do we design everything other than raids, dungeons, and PvP to be asinine and brain dead?